All right. Hello again, adventurers, and welcome to another daily vlog. This daily vlog day 8. For those of you wondering that saw my daily vlog yesterday, still not doing well. Doing better than yesterday, which is nice. But I still haven't been able to eat anything for a couple of days now, which is always fun. And yeah, in a remarkable amount of discomfort. But wanted to get an actual daily vlog to talk about something that I'm rather proud of. My video has been going bonkers on my computer. Like, I would get these weird artifacts every so often, and web pages would load weird every so often, specifically when I was watching video on like YouTube or Netflix or something. And I figured it was probably because my video card was starting to die. So I went and I found a video card that I could afford, which was not a lot, but I found a pretty decent deal on an NVIDIA GTX 4060 Ti, which is not the best video card on the market, but it's a pretty damn nice one. It's an 8 gigabyte version. They have a 16 gigabyte one too, and I couldn't afford that. So ordered it last week. It was supposed to come Wednesday, came today. Now, due to a lot of things, anxiety, my brain not working the way I want it to, and this, I was actually kind of freaking out about installing the new video card. Now, for background, I have been upgrading and modifying computers since I was in, middle school. My dad was a software engineer. When I was, the first time I went to college, I actually used to do, and shortly after I dropped out as well, I used to do computer tech work as a side gig to earn extra money. So I was official title was private computer consultant. And yeah, I've done everything. Everything short of building an entire PC from scratch, which is a goal that I have and something I want to do. Unfortunately, parts right now are expensive, and I think I went around and I found all the different parts I would need to build up a PC, and it was well outside of my price range, and it actually was only going to save me like $400 or $500 off of buying a pre-built PC, and part of that money was going to go towards me buying a license for Windows. So yeah, it just wasn't something that I've been able to do, but it's something I want to do eventually. Anyway, so it's not like this should have been an extremely difficult thing, but again, due to anxiety and everything else, my brain had just convinced me, oh, you're going to destroy your computer, and then you're not going to have a computer, which is what you use to access the outside world. Again, I live in a basement, so no computer means I'm just cut off from society. So freaking out about this finally comes today. They put it on my front porch, which pissed me off because I tell all the deliver instructions in every single thing I have ever had delivered is deliver to back porch. Deliver to back porch, because our back porch is hidden from every road imaginable, and is remarkably difficult for anyone to notice a package on. Our front porch, we have a major street in front of our house that is busy constantly, and so putting a big juicy package on our front porch is basically just bait for porch pirates. So I don't like stuff being there, and especially when it is my very expensive, for me personally, not for most people, video card that I can't afford to replace. I could barely afford to get this one. So anyway, I get it in, rip the panels off my computer, put in the new card, get really sick doing it because that's how my brain works, and have to lie down for 20 minutes after doing it. And then I get everything set back up, and it's working perfectly. And again, for anyone that's never done this, replacing a video card in a desktop computer is remarkably simple. Like, for the most part, all you really ever have to do is you take the old one out, you put the new one in, and as long as the new one works with your motherboard, which for the most part it should, unless you're replacing something like like a 10-year-old PC, and you're replacing with something brand spanking new, then you might have issues. But for the most part, it is an unbelievably simple process. And again, I have done this exact thing many times before, probably a dozen times before on various computers. It's what I used to kind of specialize in, was upgrading components piecemeal and things like that. And old system optimization was kind of my thing. And yeah, I don't know why, but my brain had just convinced me I was going to break my computer somehow. Which it doesn't help that I have had some bad experiences with pre-builts. Like the PC I had before this. The way that they plugged everything in and mounted the motherboard inside inside the case, one of the, I can't remember if it was a power cable or a data cable, where it plugged into the motherboard, had to make an immediate 90-degree to turn, and they had something pressed up against that. That's really bad for the wires. You don't want wires instantly like turning or anything like that. You want them to kind of be able to flow normally. And I had to pull out that particular plug for some reason, and I couldn't get it out without ripping apart half the computer. And for this one, the power supply that goes to, I think it's some of the case fans, because I've got, I think, like 6 different case fans, maybe 8 case fans in this. So 3 of the case fans, which I guess maybe they're not case fans, they're in the case, but they're specifically for cooling the liquid cooler for my CPU. And when I first bought this PC, the fans that came with it were really nice, but they were really loud, and the sound that they made wasn't, for lack of a better term, wasn't in tune. What I mean by that is I have perfect pitch. So I can just tell when notes are in tune and when they're not in tune. And this particular pitch of whine of the fans was like in between 2 notes, and it wasn't like perfectly in between. It was if I remember correctly, I think it was like 15 or 20 cents flat. It was an unpleasant sound for me. Anyone else in the world, it doesn't matter. For me, it was, and it was starting to give me migraines, because things playing out of tune give me migraines because I'm that kind of a weirdo. So I went and I bought some Whisper Quiet fans to replace them, but the old fans had RGB lighting and stuff like that. The new fans didn't. They were just cheap Whisper Quiet fans. And so when I plugged in the new ones, as far as I can tell, they're working. They seem to be working. I've checked them multiple times, and I also check like the temperatures on my my CPU and stuff. Like, I have a bunch of programs to monitor all that stuff. It's really nice, really useful. But looking it over, I also have a program that I can control the fan speed on all my different fans, and I use that specifically when I first got it to basically turn all the fans down so that I could work on the PC without getting a migraine. But now my 3 fans that are on my cooling block for my liquid cooling don't show up in that program. And I don't know if I accidentally plugged them into the wrong plug, because the plug that was being used before also was used for the RGB color control on that. But anyway, computers have gotten so much more confusing since I used to work on them. And the people that built this one, I got it from, I think, CyberPower. And I got it from CyberPower because I think that was who Critical Role was had a deal with at that point. But yeah, they're not particularly fond of them. Again, more likely than not, I would like the next time I get a new PC to build it myself, because there's pieces in this computer that I don't recognize. Like there's a random chip that's not attached to anything. It's just a random circuit board that has power going into it, and a bunch of cords coming off of it. It is not labeled. Nothing. I have no idea what it is. It's also not attached to anything. It's just free floating in the back. And so like half of this PC, I actually don't know what they did. They still made really stupid decisions about how to specifically chord certain things and how to path the various chords in there. So I don't know. I'm not particularly fond with CyberPower right now. But the PC itself works, and it was in my price range when I got it. So that was nice. And yeah, I upgraded from, I had a 2070 in there, and now I have a 4060 Ti, which is a very nice upgrade. I was very happy with that. So yeah, that's what I've been doing today. Yeah, I'd really like to eat something, but my brain is just not letting that happen right now. So as soon as my brain lets me eat again, I will probably start feeling slightly better. Right now, the only thing I've had to eat for the past like 2 days has been bread, because I can generally eat a couple slices of bread without getting really, really sick. So that's all I've eaten. That, and I think I did. I had a couple corn dogs to kind of test if my body would let me eat real food. And they kind of did. I didn't feel super great afterwards. And it might have just been the fact that I was eating corn dogs. But they were, available. And I just had to microwave them. So, anyway. So yeah, the joys of my life. But I've been doing other things. I've been working on stuff behind the scenes that I'm hoping eventually I'll be able to tell everybody about. And that's been really exciting. It's actually going pretty well. And I'm getting lots of ideas to kind of get it to the point that I want it to. So eventually I'll have something I can actually talk about. But anyway, that is going to be all for me today. And I will see you guys tomorrow. All right? Bye-bye.